Live at 11, this is 13 News Now.
Tonight, people in a Virginia Beach neighborhood are talking about a possible drowning that happened right in their own backyards.
Sad story here. Police say a 70-year-old man was found in a pond in the Pine Meadows neighborhood. Chanu was out there talking to neighbors, and they tell him they think this was a sad accident.
This is the pond right next to me that the 70-year-old man fell in. Although you see many docks right there on the pond, neighbors say it's relatively quiet. You never see that many people out on the water.
Every once in a while you see people out there.
It's a peaceful view in the many backyards in Virginia Beach, but this pond in Pine Meadows.
It was kind of sad to hear that he died.
Was where a man fell in. Police pulled him out and tried to save him, but they weren't able to. Neighbors say they heard his wife scream, running towards him.
I think he was just working in his yard and slipped on the bank.
It's quiet, so it's kind of just sad that that kind of an accident would happen. It's just very different.
People on casual court think it was definitely an accident. The water has never really been a place for activities, and one woman says people have fallen in before, but no one has ever died.
I've never known anything like that to happen since we've been here.
In Virginia Beach, Chanu, 13 News Now.
Police tell us neighbors were already trying to resuscitate the man when officers arrived. The victim's name has not been released. Police say they are still investigating what happened.
Today, we learned the name of the man killed in a fire at a Jackrabbit storage facility on Providence Road in Virginia Beach. Investigators say that man is 84-year-old Jack Saldret of Virginia Beach. Firefighters found his body in a unit following a fire last week. They believe the fire started in a car and spread to nearby storage units. Police are still investigating his death. Another setback for Norfolk City Treasurer Anthony Burfoot. Our partners at the Virginian Pilot report. The state Supreme Court today refused to overturn Burfoot's suspension from office. The ruling means Burfoot will be relieved of his duties at least until his sentencing next month for conviction. Burfoot won't be paid during his time. Burfoot is also appealing his convictions. In December, a federal jury found him guilty of selling his vote while serving on city council.
A weekend-long celebration of the arts has kicked off in downtown Norfolk. It is called The Main Event, a showcase of visual and performing arts in Hampton Roads. It is also considered the soft opening of the new Hilton in Norfolk called The Main. The hotel is looking to be a hub for the arts in Virginia. The celebration kicked off this evening with a ribbon cutting for the Frame Center for Excellence. Former Mayor Paul Frame was there, along with the current Mayor Kenny Alexander and Governor Terry McAuliffe.
Yeah, well, I'm still very involved. I still love Norfolk. I'm very proud of our council. I'm very proud of our mayor, and so I feel good about the city. I want to contribute. I still want to do things, and this honor tonight was not necessary, but I'm very grateful.
Frame said he is excited about the jobs and economic boost coming from the Main. He also said the new hotel will help attract millennials.
Pretty major defeat for President Trump and the Republican Party today. GOP leaders pulled their repeal bill off the House floor today after it became clear the measure would fail. Too many lawmakers opposed the plan. Tonight, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is offering little hope that the repeal effort will be revived anytime soon. ABC's Stephanie Ramos reports from Capitol Hill.
Republicans and President Trump lost a huge battle Friday.
I'm disappointed because we could have had it.
We came really close today, but we came up short. Obamacare is the law of the land. It's going to remain the law of the land until it's replaced.
The Speaker and the President admitting they didn't have the votes to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Conservatives blocked an intense lobbying effort by the White House to pass the bill. The President even agreed to some of their demands that insurance companies would no longer be required to cover basic health services like maternity care, drug and mental health treatment, and even emergency room visits. Moderate Republicans did not like the cuts, and Democrats rallied against what they called Trump care.
Health care is a right. It is not a privilege reserved for a wealthy few.
In the end, Trump called off the vote.
Further consideration of H.R. 1628 is postponed.
That ended a signature campaign promise.
You're going to have such great health care at a tiny fraction of the cost, and it's going to be so easy.
The man who wrote The Art of the Deal couldn't close this one. The president now has a dire prediction about what comes next.
The best thing we can do, politically speaking, is let Obamacare explode. It is exploding right now.
After all of this, President Trump says he's learned a lot about the legislative process and promises to take up the health care bill again. At the Capitol, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
So what led Speaker Paul Ryan to pull the health care bill? Math. There are 435 seats in the House of Representatives. 5 are open, 193 are Democrats, and 237 are Republicans. One Republican isn't on Capitol Hill because of a family matter, so the GOP needed 215 votes to pass the American Health Care Act. Here's where the breakdown happened. More than 22 Republicans said they planned to vote no on the bill, and that dropped the guaranteed yes tally below the 215 vote threshold. Many of those Republicans are part of a conservative bloc of lawmakers that wants a complete repeal of Obamacare. They didn't believe the bill on the table was sufficient.
Other news now. The city of Norfolk wants to turn Old Huntersville into something new and improved. Right now, Old Huntersville has more than 400 vacant lots. City leaders have developed a plan to help builders and buyers save time. It includes home designs with different options and floor plans, plus materials. Just pick the options you want, and you can walk out with a pre-approved permit on the same day.
It's been a long, ongoing process, and hopefully they'll keep it up. You know, what we need is more renovation and better housing and everything for the neighborhood.
The city hopes to have these plans ready for building to begin by the end of April. To get a look at the designs, go to 13newsnow.com. A new housing trend shows millennials are not ready to make it on their own just yet. More millennials are living with their parents than with a significant other, a roommate, or simply by themselves. Here are the 3 reasons why. 1, unemployment. Nationally, 1 in 10 millennials is officially listed as unemployed. Secondly, income. The average monthly income for millennials is $2,000. And number 3, rent. Nationally, nearly half of their monthly paycheck goes to a landlord.
Illegal turns were a problem near a York County shopping center, but hopefully VDOT's put the brakes on that problem. VDOT put up a barrier by the Grafton shops in Yorktown. We're told drivers coming out of the shops would turn left on Oriana Road, or they would make an illegal turn left from Oriana into the complex. There is a no left turn sign, but it doesn't always stop drivers from making that illegal turn.
So as people stop at that location to make a left, illegal left, people have to slam on brakes or hold up.
I do appreciate their effort, that they came out here and they're listening to the community. I'm not sure that it's going to be a complete success unless it is enforced by the police officers.
The complaints actually started on Facebook, then people started taking their concerns straight to VDOT, and VDOT listened.
3 injured bald eagles in just 2 weeks in Hampton Roads. One of the birds had to be euthanized after the Virginia SPCA reached out to federal officials. The other 2 birds were taken to the Wildlife Center of Virginia. Vets think one of them hit something at a high speed. We talked to an expert who says there's been a surge in bald eagles since the 1980s, and the number keeps growing.
People are seeing bald eagles every day. They're now building nests in people's yards, on golf courses, and in parks.
We're told 3 injured eagles in such a short period of time is a coincidence, but the SPCA hopes to get money for better equipment so they can care for eagles instead of transferring them to the Wildlife Center of Virginia.